enjoyed the questions.
Okay.
I loved the questions and the answers. It was beautiful to listen to you both.
Thank you so much,
Thank
dear
you.
Raj. Okay, we are going to start recording. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight, everyone in the 5 continents. Today is the 12th of March, 2023, and we are going to start our 94th International English Online meeting with our good friend Gülbin from Turkey. Hello, dear Gülbin.
Hello, Jaime.
What time is it in your country now?
It's 5:30 in the evening, not in the morning.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. First of all, let me share my screen. Okay, here it is. Okay, so as I said before, it takes some time. Okay, as I said before, today is the 12th of March, and this is our 94th International English Online meeting. You know, Gülbin, that these international meetings came out because of the pandemic. We couldn't go out, so there was something to do, and then these meetings have helped us a lot, right, Raj?
Yes.
They are good friends. So who is presenting soon, Gülbin and everyone else? Well, our good friend Ron Moraine from the USA and Germany. He will be talking on March 26 about supporting transversal skills in the EFL classroom. Then on April the 9th, our friend Fillmore Murillo from the Philippines will be talking about collaborative online international learning. Then on April 23rd, sorry, Gracia Maria Mendoza from Honduras should be talking about learner engagement. After that, on May the 7th, Laura Holland, building learning communities. Then Debra Suarez, the current president of TESOL International. It is a secret. We don't know what she will be talking about. Then Christine Kuhn, past and former president of TESOL International. She'll be talking about the case for academic excellence in ELT. Then Lisa Mann from the USA on July the 9th, one day before I turn 60 years old. She'll be talking about the business of teaching. I'm very excited about turning 60. Well, if you want to watch the past editions, you can find them in this YouTube channel. If you want to contact me, here it is my cell phone number, my WhatsApp phone number. Who is presenting today? Well, this is our good friend Gülbin Özdemir Altıgöz. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Özdemir Altıgöz from Turkey. Let me read. Gülbin teaches young learners at a public primary school in Turkey. She has been working as an English teacher for almost 10 years. She has also worked as a member of research and development departments at district, provincial, directorates of national education in Turkey. She's a TESOL Advanced Practitioner, a Certified Microsoft Innovative Educator. Last year, she was nominated for the Dedicated Teacher Award from Cambridge University Press. Congrats, dear Gülbin. And she has also been awarded as Best Global Educator by the International Internship University in 2022. And finally, she has been selected as Teacher of the Month by Teach 2030 platform, sponsored by Commonwealth Education Trust and Transatlantic Educators Program, sponsored by the University of Illinois at Urbana campaign. So thank you so much, dear Gülbin, for your time on a Sunday, because it's family time, but thank you so much. And the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Jaime, for your great presentation and introduction. I feel so shy right now.
Don't worry. It happens to the best world speakers.
Thank you. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Hopefully it works. I hope you can.
Yes, we can see.
See right now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So I'll be having this over here. So, okay, welcome to my presentation and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Thanks for being here. I would like to say initially this because as you said before, Jaime, this is Sunday and this is family time, but you just, took your time to be here and I appreciate it. So I'm grateful to all of you. So my presentation title is Teaching English to Gifted Students. Self-intro, maybe we can, start with self-intro. So you made an introduction, but I had, included this as well in my presentation. So as an EFL teacher, I've been working for almost 10 years. It's going to be 10, hopefully, this year. And I teach young learners at the public primary school. And also I've been working at CERIC Science and Arts Center too, since September 2022. So that means 2 schools in 1 week, but I'm not tired. I'm not complaining. So I'm a TESOL Advanced Practitioner, Certified Microsoft Innovative Educator, and also PDC Facilitator for a nationwide project sponsored by British Council. And I'm currently working on my master's thesis in the field of ELT, but I'm struggling right now to finish it. It's quite a bit hard, but yeah, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna get over it. So yeah, table of contents. So what we have in today's menu is that 4 parts. It includes, the first one is how do we describe gifted students? Who is gifted? And the second one would be what is a science and art center, because it's like particularly specific to Turkey. I don't know if the European countries or if there is something like that in Peru or Latin America, I don't know, but it's particularly specific to Turkey, science and art centers. So what do these institutions offer? We're going to talk about it. And the third one, what are the qualifications of a teacher working at those centers? And the last one will be, how is English language taught at science and art centers?
So these questions are for you or for me?
Sorry?
These questions are for the audience or you are going to answer them?
I'm going to answer them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so who do we describe as gifted? What is giftedness? So the photograph is retrieved from the website of the Ministry of Education in Turkey. What is giftedness? We can say students with gifts and talents perform or have the capability to perform at higher levels compared to others of the same age, experience, and environment in one or more domains. So I took this explanation, this official explanation from the website of National Association for Gifted Children in Washington, D.C. So I quite agree on that. And what are their characteristics, or what are their characters, let's say? So first of all, they're born with above average natural abilities. So they're curious and ask detailed questions. This is quite important for me because, you could say why, you could ask, what is this, what is that? But they normally ask details, specific information. It's quite challenging for teachers. And they put their own approach to the assignments, and they have original ideas and create their own solutions, which I really admire, and I'm jealous of them. And they're cognitively advanced and able to self-teach, and they have strong feelings for the things they find important. So what are science and art centers? What do these institutions offer? So these are my students, as you can see. So they're like, they're aged between 12 and 15 already. So they're so nice. So we were, playing some like Jenga and some games with them here. Okay, science and art centers in Turkey. As you can see, one of the centers in Ankara, and this is the Art and Science Center of my institution, CERIC Science and Arts Center. As you can see the logo, I work there. So BILSEMs, I'm gonna tell it like this: Science and Arts Center. So we call them BILSEM in Turkish. So BILSEM is the abbreviated name of Science and Arts Education Centers. They're public they're special education institutions. So they're opened by the Minister of National Education in Turkey in order to ensure that gifted and talented students can be aware of their abilities and they can develop and use their capacities at a higher level. So just to support them, just to foster their learning and teaching progress. And there are 279 centers in Turkey, according to recent reports, but it's going to be like more, at the end of this year or something like that, probably. Let's move on. Okay, so potential questions that I could receive from you, I included them in here. So per class, we have 5 and 6 students, and nothing more than that. And students come from different schools. They can come from either public schools or private schools. It doesn't really matter because there is an examination period for them. After the examination, they're enrolled in the centers. And they have varied subjects like Turkish, social sciences, IT, science, maths, art and music for talented ones, and English, of course. And they come to the centers 2 or like not 3, but yeah, it depends on the institution. 2 or 3 days of a week after their school is finished normally. And workshops. Also, these centers can offer some workshops, but they need 10 students, like up to 10 students in order to offer these workshops from the experts. So these workshops could be like about origami, photography, drama, robotics, and coding, which is really important, and improving fast reading techniques, mind games. We have that, that workshop. We've been, doing that. And astronomy, aviation and space, creative writing, ceramics, improving leadership skills, archaeology, philology, software development, and improving thinking skills. That is creative thinking skills and also critical thinking skills, which is really crucial for those, gifted students. And what are the qualifications of teachers working at science and art centers? I'm not sure, but maybe you're curious about, that qualifications.
Yes, we are. We are very curious.
So how do we choose those teachers to teach gifted students? This is really tricky, actually. So yeah, the qualifications. First of all, open-mindedness. So I couldn't talk. So they need to have a growth mindset towards their students, their teaching, and their profession. And professional development, they need to constantly develop themselves, taking courses, attending seminars, giving seminars, or, webinars. So after the pandemic, it's not called seminars. We don't have so many face-to-face seminars lately, but we have webinars, and I find webinars and these, talks and conferences, which is, they're like oftentimes they're online, but we gain lots of information and lots of, different and new knowledge from the experts and our colleagues and like you. I appreciate it. And also strong academic and professional background. So that is CV. They need to have a master's degree, but this is not a must. But yeah, of course, this is, extra point that brings extra points. Or they need to have experience of 5 years at least, because the experience is everything, especially for the authorities in Turkey. I don't know why, but you need to be experienced for lots of things. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
dear Gülbin, before you go on,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. There is a lot of information, and I guess we have, congratulations, we have 41 people today.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. We usually have 15, 20, but we got 41 people, and lots of people, I know that they are very interested and eager to learn something about what you presented before. So if anybody here in the audience has a question, Raj, Alba, Anna, Angie, Bethy, Cristobal, David, Daisy, Eliberto, Elizabeth, Fabian, Jeraxon, Fabian Martinez, Juan, etc. Pierina, my ex-student from the university. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. They say, good morning, I am from Guayaquil. Anybody has a question, please? Raj, Roxy?
Yeah, I had a question. You said the class sizes were 5 to 6 students. That's quite a small number.
Yeah.
Because of the special needs, or?
Mostly because of their special needs, because they're so, they're qualified. They're like, I don't know, I cannot call them as students. Maybe I should call them learners, because if you just, as a teacher, if you define your students as students so that they could want and they could need something from you as a teacher. You have to teach something to them. But these are not students. They can, they have the capacity and they have the capability to self-teach. They can, teach. They can learn anything on their own. So in order to teach something to them, I'm not gonna call it like teaching, but I don't know how we call it in English. So yeah, I'm going to call them as learners, because you have to facilitate their progress. You have to facilitate their learning rather than teaching as a teacher. So that's why it's always nice to have some 6 students or maybe 7 students at one class, because they ask questions and they have to, they normally do the things in a detailed way. They are so, obsessed with their working styles, and they need to, sometimes they enjoy working in, groups. Sometimes they enjoy their individual work. So you cannot just, intervene there, and then you cannot interfere with their learning process and progress. If you have 10 students or 15 students at a time. So that's why it's quite nice. 5 or 6 students is quite nice, believe me.
Yeah, thank you. We got another question, Ron.
Yeah, well, actually, Gülbin, what you're really describing is called a self-directed learner. We usually think of them as young people, but another word for it would be, if they're really motivated, self-regulated learners. And everything you said, the description of them fits into self-directed, self-regulated. And those are, and you got to use different pedagogies to teach them because they are motivated in a different way. So there are scientific studies of that. So I just want to kind of add that too, because there is a term for what you're describing, and that's self-directed, self-regulated learners. And usually the teachers here in Germany, they cannot take pedagogical approaches. They need to take andragogical approaches. In other words, even though they're young, they need to start treating them and teaching them like adults because they're more motivated than their peers in high school. So yeah, it's a different way. We have those schools here in Germany as well. And of course, in the United States, they're called charter schools, so it's almost the same concept as in Turkey.
Thank you so much, dear Ron. And I got one more question, Gülbin, if it is possible.
Yeah.
How long do these students study in a regular school? And then how long they study in these 2 or 3 days a week after school?
It depends on their schools. For example, if they're coming from public schools, they have 7 hours a day.
Okay.
And after 7 hours, they come to us for 4 more hours.
Wow.
They're superheroes. Actually.
Okay, thank you so much. And the last question, Roxy in Lima.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Gülbin. I'm really curious about this, and how I would like to ask you 3 questions. First, how these kids are selected and how they are sent to your center. How do you get them? If the schools are given a kind of test, I suppose you have a placement test. Are they selected because of the level of the IQ or because the age? I would like to know about it.
Thank you, dear Roxy.
Thank you, Roxy. So there's a selection procedure, it's not like an examination that you sit for 4 hours or 3 hours and you get it. No, it's not like that. So there's a commission, which consists of 10 different teachers. We have like teachers with PhDs and some academicians. So then you go there with your, kids. Then it lasts for 1 week or something like that. So there are some special exams which assess the IQ and also their minds, but these do not include something like Turkish, English questions or like scientific things, but rather they have something which assesses your brain. I'm not quite familiar with those procedures because I've never been to that commission actually, but hopefully my son will be there. That's my hope. But I'm not quite, familiar with the assessment procedure. That's all I know. I would like to, give that information to you, but not with details. But I think I can, send an email to you afterwards. If you include your email, I could just, simply ask and then get back to you, because all I know is there's a procedure, like it lasts for 1 week or 2 weeks. They go there like one exam at a time, I think they sit for. Then the age is like they start from the age of 9 and 10, which is 4th grade for the primary schools. Then they have the examination process. But I just, that's all I know. They don't go for, like examination, which is full of English, Turkish, maths and science and everything, but rather they have something, some maybe pictures or some photographs that assesses their IQs, because there are some counselors, there are some psychologists in the commission. So that's all I know, actually.
Thank you so much for answering our questions, Gülbin. You may go on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not quite sure if I was helpful, but I'm gonna get to
You were. You were
could,
very. You are
have your
very
email.
helpful. That's why we have 48 people today, Gülbin. 48. We normally don't have that number of people here. So the topic is very interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's quite interesting because I'm new to, this institution as well. Like since September, it's nothing, because I see those kids like 2 days a week, and I'm still learning. It's a process for me as well. So yeah, I'm a noob as well. Actually,
Great.
I'm not an expert, but yeah, I'm trying to give what I have to you in my hands. So let's move on. But thank you for your questions. I appreciate that. And yeah, how is English taught as a foreign language? That's a tricky part, because I know for sure in that examinations, they don't have English questions, so they don't assess their English level. But we have English in their, curriculum. I don't know why, but they have English. So they have Turkish, that's a must, it's compulsory, and they have English as a foreign language in their curriculum. I think it's because of, because we are trying to raise some citizens as European, and this is a must, like knowing English, speaking English, it's a must, so we can't deny it. So that's why I think they have English in their curriculum, but they don't assess their English level. I know for sure. So 3 main approaches are crucial. I included those 3 because, as Ron said, they're autonomous learners. So learner autonomy is like, I don't know, it's like a mirror for you as a teacher, because when you talk about learner autonomy, you just see that in your, in front of your eyes when you go and see those kids. So I normally use those teaching techniques, like approaches, during my teaching. Like I combine all of them, I could say. So for example, first of all is task-based language teaching. Maybe you're like familiar with this approach. So this is an approach to language learning where learners are given interactive tasks. So we all know that we have a task in order to complete. So in order to do this, they need to communicate in the target language. So normally their English level is not that high as we expect, but they learn easily and they do their best to speak English. But of course, for example, the students coming from private schools, their English level is a bit higher, of course, because of the hour of instruction in English. They have like, I don't know, maybe 20 hours or so in English instruction at their schools. But at public schools, they're like 4 hours of instruction, or like 6 hours, most probably 6 hours of English instruction at public schools. So that's why their English level is not so high. But I don't force them to communicate in the target language while doing the activity. But after that, I force them to speak English, because it's not like, forcing. It's not like put the gun on their head, but like persuading them to, to speak English all the time, because that's all they need. And topic-based language teaching. So the emphasis of lessons in language learning is on object or topic or a theme. I mostly use this one because I always choose a topic or choose a theme to start my teaching. So it's easier to associate with the words, situations, and interests together around the topic. This is a more organized way to present what you want to give to your students. Always, it's like really useful and easier way. And project-based language teaching. So this is an instructional approach designed to give students the chance to develop knowledge and skills related to challenges or problems they may face in the real world. This is really cool because they already, they're sensitive to their environment and environmental issues. So this is their nature, and you just give a problem or you just give a challenge to them. And yeah, like you see the magical process in their eyes, because that's what they need, actually. That's what they want. They desire to solve a problem. They desire to put a conclusion, solution into, into the stage of the world. So they're quite entertaining, and it's always fun to have project-based language teaching with them. I'm gonna, show you afterwards, like some pictures and photos concerning these approaches. And two main aspects are crucial for me, at least, and use of authentic English in real situations and contexts, which we don't have normally in public schools and primary level, because of course we have colors, numbers, we have like playground things, and like they relate, like some topics related to our house, related to our city and our day, but these are not enough. We try to give them some authentic materials and authentic things, but it's not enough. But for them, it's quite crucial. So another thing is improving English speaking skills. This is crucial for me because I remember my I'm not gonna say childhood days, but I'm gonna say teenager years, and also when I was in high school, I started to speak English like precisely when I was at university. This is really actually tricky part for me, and I find it quite embarrassing for me, because during high school we had some English speaking lessons, we had some English speaking classes, but it was not like speaking at all. It was like, memorizing, like saying things by heart and discussing, but not discussing, you know what I mean, I think. So when I first went to Germany, we had to speak in English rather than German. So we were like shocked because we couldn't speak. Of course, then we, got used to like that communication in English, but it was not enough. So what I want for them is to impress themselves, like not impress, sorry, express themselves in English at a younger age. So that they can, you know, take the advantage of speaking English at like older ages. So I don't want them to feel embarrassed like I did in Germany. So yeah. A picture always reinforces the concept. So these are my students and me, as you can see. And yeah, so as I said before, I told you that I included some pictures of the lessons. So this picture comes from a lesson based on their dream job. So we had that worksheet. So they, you know, filled in the worksheet, then they presented that worksheet with their own words and own sentences, which I really admired. So we can move on. The second one. This comes from a lesson based on their dream country. So as you can see, I choose the topics like dream job, dream country, because, you know, they're so interested in European countries and all, of course, like Latin American countries and also South Korea. I don't know why, but this is quite popular among them. So they were presenting their like presentation papers. I'm gonna call it like this. So as you can see, I just gave them 4 corners, and one corner was about must-see places, and the other one food and drinks, sports, and money currency, and extra information if they want to give. So I just included the titles, and then they went to the other classrooms because we had smart boards, so they could research, they could do some, you know, research and, you know, look for the places, look for the food and drinks and so on and so forth. So after 30 minutes or so, they came back and they presented their papers. So this is an important product for me. And from a lesson based on sustainable development, as I said before, I include all of them. Like I combine 3 main approaches. So this basically is related to project-based language teaching. So our problem was, you know, GM food, genetically modified foods. So we went through the articles and we went through the videos and some, you know, movie parts. Then we included some brochures and posters. So this poster belongs to a student of mine. So don't eat, do it, something like that. So stop GMF, as you can see. And another one. So don't produce GMO food and, you know, and protect the animals. It was gonna, you know, write that, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, they really like originality. They really like finding original solutions in their own work and tasks. Yeah, so this comes from a lesson based on the bingo game on Nobel Prize Award winners. So we have Einstein over there, and they were the winners of the bingo game because they were searching on the, you know, questions listed on the paper. So they were searching who won that Nobel Prize in, for example, in 1955 or something like that. So yeah, they were renewing their knowledge on scientists and also Nobel Prize, of course. This is quite crucial for me. And this is from a lesson based on famous scientists. So I call this game like Snowball Taboo because these papers are not rubbish. So don't get me wrong. Especially with a piece of paper, they wrote some scientists, first of all, but without acknowledging the name and surname. They mostly use some practical information. They included some like important info, like, for example, this scientist found this, this scientist, for example, discovered this. Who is that? Something like that. Then they had a game like boys and girls, like 3-3, and they were just reading that paper and trying to guess who that scientist was. And that was quite fun, actually. And yeah, so I like this lesson as well. And this comes from a lesson based on data graphing. So that was an integration of maths and English classes because they like maths and they like science, but mostly not English. So I have a mission to make them love English more and more each day. So that's my mission as well. That's why I just, try to integrate maths and science in my classes. So this was an example of that. And this comes from a lesson based on their idea school. That was really, I don't know, that was super duper and like fantastic lesson because they were so enjoying talking about their ideal schools because they're so, tired and they fed up with their schools because of the hours. As I said before, like 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 10 hours a day. If she or he comes from a private school, so they are, going home, eating dinner, then they have to do their homework. They have to study for their exams and quizzes. So for them, it's quite hard actually. And yeah, of course they're successful. They're academically really successful, but they try their best to be the first, to be the best. So that puts, I don't know, that puts such a burden on their shoulders as well. That's
a question, please, dear Gülbin, before you go on.
Yeah.
Where do you get these tasks and activities from? Do you get them from a book or the government or the Ministry of Education prepares them?
Not really. We have a curriculum, which we have learning outcomes, like not day by day, but week by week. But I try to, find some specific topics and specific worksheets and like ideas, creative ideas from different websites.
So not all the teachers use the same material?
No, it depends on the teachers. But
okay.
It's valid for science and art teachers. It's not valid for the other ones because we have a, quite strict curriculum.
Okay, and another question, were you a learner, were you a student, were you part of this program?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
But I desire, that's my desire to have my son put into this.
Okay, and how long has this project been in existence?
Like since 2002.
So it's about 20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So that means that you are following the results. You know what learners who started in this program, you know what they are doing now, if they are successful in English.
Yeah.
And you have those outcomes now?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if somebody else has another question. Once again, congratulations, Gülbin. We got 49 people here and 16 people in Facebook Live. Many people are really excited and interested in this topic. Anyone else, please? Yeah, Roxy?
Yes, sorry again here, Roxana. Yes, I would like to make a comment and tell me, please, Gülbin, if I am mistaken or not about this. In the sense that I find it this kind of programs that you have in the center, like a workshop, no, that is more interactive. It's totally different to the traditional school style. And that's why I think you are activating these kids' schemata in the sense that they are doing more than just reading a book. Am I mistaken?
No, you're definitely not. Absolutely not. That's a great comment. Yeah.
Thank you, Roxy. Anyone else, please, has a question or a comment to make? If not, well, we got lots of people, Gülbin, from Tunisia, from Morocco, from Mexico, from Peru, from Bolivia, from Puebla, Mexico. Wow. So lots of people are interested in this topic. So no more questions? Okay, go on, Gülbin.
Okay, so so this comes from a lesson based on creative storytelling because I gave them some specific words which are irrelated, which don't have, some like relations to each other, like forest, mountain, ghosts, and boots, and so on and so forth, as you can see behind the paper. So what I would like them to do was just to, create a story with those words. They can, exclude some words, or they could include some words. They could add, they could, do whatever they like. But what I would, them to do was exactly having a creative story at the end. So they could work individually, they could work as a group, they could work, as pairs. But yeah, they had some questions, they had some drawings, they had some paints and, colorful crayons. So yeah, they had some time in order to prepare themselves. Then they had their stories presented to their classmates, so which was really creative and which was really unique experience for me, because while you're having that creative story, you just have a hint and maybe lots of hints concerning their psychological needs or psychological mood or anything, anything that comes to your mind within their brain or within their mind or heart. So I quite find this pretty unique and special, especially this activity, because it's always nice to see what your students need actually. And yeah, you could, make your progression, or you could edit, or you could criticize yourself, and then you could edit your teaching based on their needs. So it's quite enlightening activity. For example, this one, Captain and the Ship Boy. So because this one, for example, this story was about a ship boy who wanted to be free of everything, for example, free of homeworks, free of examinations, like free of like even the house he was living in. So that was quite interesting to find out all the outcomes based on the stories. And we are starting international collaborations. Actually, I've been doing that with my primary school students. They could tell, for example, their, some basic sentences like, I like green, my name is blah, blah, I'm 9 years old, I'm from Turkey, or something like that, which I really admire and which is enough for me. But for these students, it's going to be the first experience. So we're going to have a high school from the USA, and of course us. So we're going to have 1 hour or 1.5 hours together, like on Zoom or something like that. So we're going to have a chat with those students, my students and their students. So it's going to be fun. So it's going to take place on this Wednesday. So I'm quite excited about it. I'm quite curious about it. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun. So yeah.
There is a question, Gülbin, sorry, in Facebook Live. There is a question. There is a person. There is a person from Tunisia. I cannot read his name or her name because it's written in a language that maybe Arabic. And he or she is asking, can we use this technique when teaching grammar? I mean, maybe the activities. I mean, I think he means that.
Honestly, I haven't thought about it because I don't put the emphasis on grammar.
But it's a good question to think about.
Yeah, that's a good question to think about. Thank you for your question. That's tricky and that's exciting and that's interesting, but I need to think because I haven't, experienced to use them in grammar, because for grammar, I have different techniques. Because for grammar, like a whiteboard or even a smartboard or, some notebooks and papers, worksheets, photocopies are not enough. For
so maybe,
sorry?
So maybe for your next presentation in August, September, I don't know.
Yeah.
you could show us
But I
how
don't
you
know.
do this with your students, right?
Yeah, because yeah.
Thank you so much, Gülbin.
So I'm gonna move on to my not the least, but before that one. So I included this quote from by Chuck Grassley, I think. So he says, "What makes a child gifted and talented may not always be good grades in school." I couldn't agree more. I definitely agree on that. But a different way of looking at the world and learning. This is quite actually special quote for me because the meaning is so special and original and unique actually. So we need, as teachers, we always need to remind ourselves that, okay, for example, this student, like didn't take an A from the test or didn't take 5 from the test. It doesn't really matter what the score is, but okay, this is gonna be plumber. This is gonna be something else. This is not gonna, work. This is not gonna go to university or something like that. So we need to cut it off, like sharply, really in a sharp way. So we need to think again and again that it may not be about the grades. It may not be about the academic success in school, but rather it may relate it to something else that you only can find with observation. For example, he or she can be talented in art or music or singing or like I don't know, skipping rope or like volleyball or something like that. Anything anything it could be. So we need to keep that in mind as teachers. This is my point of view, actually. This is my
And it's also my point of view, dear Gülbin. Yes, I agree with this quote.
Yeah.
There is a question. Sorry, Gülbin here.
Okay.
English teacher says, every student have textbooks based on the curriculum, and if we try to use outside materials for the related curriculum, the students feel burden or extra job. I appreciate your idea, Gülbin. Still, I've been trying my best not to depend only on the textbooks. They are only samples. I try my best to convince the students that we can use authentic materials which are in our surroundings or easy reach. What's your idea?
Okay, thank you for your comment, and I'm gonna take it as question and also compliment. Thank you for that. Actually, yeah, not for these students. Actually, these students are highly motivated, and these students are ready for learning. But I could say something that I experienced, that I've been experienced with my experiencing. Now my grammar is out of order. Sorry. So yeah, I could say something with my pupils in primary school. For example, in 4th graders, we have a unit in the book which is called Countries and Nationalities. For example, with the textbook, if you just stick to that textbook, you should say, okay, this is the flag of this country, and this is the national language, and and the grammar point is, I'm from Turkey, I'm Turkish. What nationality are you? I'm Turkish. Where you come from? Where do you come from? I come from Turkey. It's that all. So you don't need to put extra effort on this, unit. But what I personally do for 4 years or 5 years, I don't know, I organize an international cultural festival for this unit, actually, in order not to stick with the textbook. And in order to be an example, a sample for the other, colleagues and for parents and also my students. For example, we just say there's going to be a cultural festival, and it's a quite nice opportunity for my primary school students because they need to, practice the language. They need to communicate in the target language. And I live in Antalya, and my school is based in Belek, which is a touristic place, and we have students from 10 plus countries. So it's a great way to for the parents to introduce their own identities and their own countries and nationalities, actually. And this is a great way. So I organize that festival all the time, and I also suggest my Turkish students to choose any country that they would like to choose. Then they come with the clothes. They could, choose clothes from any part of the world, and they could, make up the clothes at their homes, houses. They don't need to pay for it because they're so affordable. They can use, for example, a sheet, or I don't know, they could use a t-shirt, they could use a uniform, they could use anything that works for their, traditional clothing. So,
Okay.
so they basically bring some food. For example, if they, choose France, they could use croissants, because croissants are typical in Turkey. Everywhere you can find it. And they could use coffee, and French coffee. It doesn't really it doesn't really have to be French coffee, but when you just say coffee and croissant, this is typical for French. And I am from France and I'm French, that's all. And this is an unforgettable moment, and this is an unforgettable memory for them in their minds, because I take their pictures, I take their photos, and they're so nice in their clothes. And yeah, so it is something else. It becomes something else for them. Like, for example, if I follow the textbook, so it doesn't really, mean anything when they go to high school, when they go to university. They probably won't remember anything. They just remember, I'm from Turkey, I'm Turkish, and that's all. But with this way of teaching, they would remember each of them, each different parts, each different country and each different student. Yeah, thank you for your opinion.
Thank you. No, thank you. That's a good answer. Thank you, Gülbin. So let's move on.
That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for being here. I really feel eternally grateful to you and all the participants, because you took your time to be here, and I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
So could you stop sharing your screen, because we have lots of questions they are going before you go and have dinner.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, number one, thank you so much, dear Gülbin, because it's a Sunday. You got your child, you got your husband, you have your family. There are lots of questions about Turkey and the education in your country that we don't know. For example, I want to know how many hours of English classes do students have in public schools?
In public schools, if it's primary school, it's 2 hours, only
Okay.
2 hours a week. But
Okay.
if it's a middle school, like elementary one, like 5th graders till 8th graders, it's like 4 hours. And we have special like extra classes. For example, the students could choose voluntarily. So you could add 2 hours more, so that means 6 hours a week, but normally 4 hours.
That is public schools, right?
Yeah, in public schools, but in private schools, of course, it's like the heaven of English for primary school.
They what?
It's the heaven of English, because they they put so much emphasis on English.
So I guess you studied in a private school, didn't you?
No, I studied in a public school.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I also studied at the public school, dear Gülbin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure that lots of people have here lots of questions. As I said, congratulations. You had 47 people here following you and listening to you. Okay, anybody else who wants to make a question or a comment, please feel free.
And Jaime, by the way, Roxana, can you just tell me your email address? Or you could just, simply add me as a friend.
Roxy will visit you in Turkey, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, we have Alba, Angela, Angie, Bethy, Cristobal, David, Eliberto, Elizabeth, English teacher, Gabriela. Yeah, Jeraxon. Go on, Jeraxon.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Where are you from, Jeraxon?
I'm from Haiti.
Haiti. Hey, welcome, dear Jeraxon from Haiti.
Thank you so much. I believe
Thank
that I must definitely believe that I'm the only Haitian that's on the Zoom call. You know, I would love to congratulate you and I forgot her name. The person who
Gülbin.
Kurdi. I must definitely appreciate her for all of the information that she was sharing to us. This is so great to me because I was just listening and taking notes, you know. And then yeah, I mean I don't really have a question, but just a little bit of comment, just to say thank you for doing that. And
Thank you, dear Jeraxon. Justo Segura, gone.
I'm very glad about that. And sorry.
Where are you from, Justo?
Good morning. I'm from Ecuador, Guayaquil.
Hello, Justo. Gone.
Yeah, is to say thank you. Gülbin is the name, yes?
Yeah,
Gülbin.
Gülbin. Doesn't really matter, don't worry.
Yeah, Gülbin, you are beautiful, yes, and good teacher also. Thank you to share with us the different skill to teach English in Guayaquil. With Ecuador Habla Inglés is a program, the United States. Yes, we are implement some skill to get that the student learn more English. Many students dislike English, but the teacher are that they like English. Yes, and this skill that you share with us are very valued for me. Thank you again.
Thank you, dear Justo. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have any other question or comment, please? Anybody else here in the audience? Yeah. David wants to talk?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hello, David. Where are you from, David?
Well, I'm from Ecuador. I'm an English teacher here in
Okay.
Ecuador.
What part of Ecuador?
I don't know if you know about Cuenca, but it's near Cuenca. It's 1 hour from Cuenca, more or less.
What's the name of your city again?
Cuenca.
Ah,
but it's close.
Cuenca.
Yeah, but it's
Cuenca
not
is
exactly
so
Cuenca, but it's
beautiful.
near. It's called Guadalajara. I don't know if
Yes, it's so
you've ever heard
beautiful,
about that.
Cuenca.
Yeah.
Okay, go on with your question or comment.
Well, yeah, I'll just comment as well. Just really appreciate that you're having this kind of information to share with us as English teachers. I have never been able to been out of the country. I mean, I have never been to another country, but I would like to do it one day.
Well,
Yeah,
come to Peru, go to Turkey.
Yeah, well, I was in Mexico, but you know, they speak Spanish though. But my dream is to visit other countries and share knowledge and cultural stuff about that. So, well, my comment is that I really appreciate that you're doing this kind of programs, which we can learn a lot from it. As a teacher, I always try to do my best with my students and try to share as much as I can. What I always tell people is I don't really give information, but I just guide them through the process because they are the people who are learning. So
yes, that's
have
true.
these kind of tools to use them in classroom is really interesting. So I really appreciate you and really thank the person who is in charge of this, organizing all this. So continue doing that, and I'll be glad to be part of it.
Thank you, thank you. It's me,
Thank you,
the one who is. And something very important, if you want to have a big success in class, smile, be happy.
All right.
Yes, because yes, look at that, beautiful. You see,
Right.
because if you go like this and you show this face and you don't smile, the students will hate English. Yeah,
Get bored.
one of the best advices is a smile. Yes or not,
Right.
Gülbin?
Yes,
Sure.
definitely this.
Yes, true. Thank you, Maria Teresa Bejarano.
Really interesting. Yeah, so
Thank you,
it's nice to
David.
know about other countries as well and how you use your techniques to improve every day. That's what we want to do as teachers, right?
Yes, thank you, David. Maria
You're
Teresa.
welcome. Pleasure.
Jaime, sorry for a second.
Gülbin.
Give me a second.
I give you 20 seconds.
Okay. So, David,
Hello,
nice to
hello
meet you.
everyone.
Oh,
One
Maria
moment, Maria
Teresa.
Teresa.
Hello.
Maria Teresa, just a minute. One moment.
Hello everyone. I'm from Ecuador. I live in Esmeralda City. Congratulations for your presentation or explanation in this Zoom. It was very good for me. No, I studied to the Ecuador habla inglés in my country. Congratulations for
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, dear Maria Teresa, for listening and participating in the audience. Thank you so much. Gülbin, you were saying.
Yeah. Thank you, Maria Teresa, for your, nice wishes. And also, David, it's quite, complimentary. Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you, and you're always welcome in Turkey. Don't worry about that.
I promise I will go to Turkey before I pass away.
And of course, you have everyone in here. Come to Antalya. It's a really nice.
Okay, mi casa es tu casa. My house is your house, Gülbin, too. So anybody else has a question, please? Roxana, you got a question? Roxy?
Yes, basically a comment and appreciation, a compliment for your help. And I feel like you make us aware of the need and importance of doing things in classes more than the book. No, as we all know, the book is a tool, right? It shouldn't be just something strict to guide. And as you mentioned, by doing, we memorize more, we remember more. And that one of the things that we also implement in some of the schools we work is that at the end of each unit, we finish with a project. So we basically put all the vocabulary, the grammar learned into practice. And then another thing that you have mentioned, probably that some schools could ask request for doing this, is that when you don't evaluate, when there is not an evaluating process, when there are no grading, the students feel totally relaxed and more interactive and more motivated to participate, because sometimes grades, limit them. Say, no, am I going to be graded? No, better not, because if I make a mistake, something wrong is going to happen. And also telling them that mistakes are welcome. So this interactive, as you said, the mindset is very important here, because that opens the mind about how to put things into practice, how to make things, and how to reactivate the schematic. So in that case, the student is going to be relaxing while learning without knowing that they are learning. So thank you very much. It's something that we all from each corner can put into practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Roxy in Lima, Peru. Anybody else has a comment or a question? Raj in Canada.
Yeah, Gülbin, thank you for the presentation. I love your energy and the way you flow with it.
Yes, very, very energetic.
Yes. And how are learners selected?
Oh, this question again. Raj, I am not quite informed about it. Let me answer with that. And I honestly don't know about the questions and also examination and those papers, because I've never been into that experience, because there's a commission, and in that commission there are some teachers and academicians and also counselors and psychologists and some also inspectors. So yeah, I know that's what I know. I know that they start from a very young age, for example, with the age of 9. So that is 4th grade in primary schools. So, and they take the view and also they take the criticism assessment of the primary school teacher, the class teacher first. They choose their students in the class. For example, they suggest, I think this could be gifted. So they, first of all, they suggest some pupils, for example, 3 or 4 normally, because I don't think the parents are informed about it, but the class teacher is the, is the basic source here. Then they go to that commission for about like 1 week or 2 weeks. So they have different like examinations, maybe pictures and photos and so on and so forth, but I'm not really informed about, that examination progress. So that's all I could say. But I told Roxana that I will, search about it more properly, then I will let you know. If you appreciate that. Because really, I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not quite informed about that. So as far as I know, this is my knowledge. But I'm not gonna, guide you in a wrong way. So that's why.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
There is a selection process and you're not aware of it. That's what I heard you say.
Before your final words today in this presentation, Gülbin, could you show your email again? Some people in Facebook Live, they want to write to you. They say they will go to Turkey. They say
Come to Turkey. You can come to Turkey. You're always welcome in Turkey. I would appreciate it.
What countries are around your country, Turkey? Which countries are around?
We have lots of countries. We have Greece, Bulgaria, Moldova, Ukraine, and Syria.
Greece, Bulgaria.
Yeah. Greece, Bulgaria. So come to Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you are. Özdemir
Özdemir
at
yahoo.co.uk.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I guess people are writing. You will receive lots of emails from now on, Gülbin.
I appreciate it. Don't worry. So I would be so glad to have them.
Okay, so thank you for sharing, dear Gülbin.
So shall I stop sharing or?
Please do.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will have thousands of emails.
I don't mind.
That's what you say now. That's what you say now. Okay. Anybody else has a question here in the audience, please? If not, anyone else, please? Let me see. No hands up. Well, on behalf of everyone of this audience, dear Gülbin, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing a new view, because that is something new for us. We didn't know. Well, personally, I knew nothing about Turkey and this type of program. So thank you so much. And I want you to be in August, in September, back again, if it is possible, Gülbin.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now you got some time to say thank you and goodbye. Gülbin.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank you, Jaime, because this is a great opportunity for me. This is the very, very first time that I'm, presenting to like so many precious teachers and educators from Latin America, like Peru. I've never,
even from Nepal, people from Nepal, from Haiti.
People from Nepal and Tunisia,
and Morocco too.
So this is quite, like a wide, like I don't know, range. How could we say? I don't know. I'm
networking.
Yeah. So I feel so humbled and I feel so great and I feel so glad to be here with you. Thank you for making my day so special and so pretty, because this evening, I'm not gonna forget about this evening. This is quite cool because everyone is smiling and sending hearts, and it's really cool actually. Love the energy of the
Yes, I told you, Gülbin, this group is wonderful. So happy people, memorable content, glad, exciting, everything. Yes. And there is one more question. I don't know who iPhone is. Gone. iPhone. It says iPhone. It's a question.
No, it's me. No questions, but I would like to congratulate this kind of opportunities to improve our knowledge, our experience. I wasn't from the beginning, but I could learn a lot
What's your
from
name,
the
my
presenter.
dear? What's your
Thank
name?
you so much, and I hope to be in another kind of training like this.
Yes, in 2 more weeks, we will have Ron Moraine. What's your name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Angelica Bravo. I'm from Loja, Ecuador.
Oh, the beautiful Loja. Well, before we say goodbye to everyone, let me show
Thank
you.
by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you,
Thank
my
you.
dear. Let me show you and remind you that this is my Facebook. I'm sorry. So on March 26th, that is in 2 weeks, we'll have Ron Moraine from the USA and Germany talking about supporting transversal skills in the EFL classroom. So one more time, thank you so much, dear Gülbin. Thank you, everyone here, the more than 49 people, Gülbin, and 20 in Facebook Live. Thank you so much. Blessings for your child, your family, and your husband, and everyone else. See you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
everyone.
people.
Okay, thank you so
Bye,
much.
Jaime.
Deborah.
Bye, Gülbin.
Thank you, Julie, Sandra, Roxana,
Bye.
Victor
Hi,
Enrique.
bye. Hi,
Bye-bye.
Nito.
Goodbye,
Thank you
Ana
very
Maria,
much.
Maria
It
Eva
was
in
an
Bolivia. Goodbye,
excellent
goodbye.
experience to meet and to Guna. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Time for me to cook. Goodbye.